So here we go. We've got another replay. Oh, I've got to quit this one first. Chill out. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. I need some music. I feel like I need music in the background. Not for you guys, actually just for me. Just to make it a bit more exciting. I think my in-game sound went the other day, and I haven't got it back. It's actually quite frustrating. It feels very lonely in the game to not have the sound. Here we go. Ominousblink. We are looking at Plant versus Crizzle. I think this was titled, let me check. I think it was titled something very nonchalant. I have one for you. What the fuck do I do here? Great stuff. Pardon me. I've been sick all week. I was sick last week as well, just getting over it. Kind of, but I've had to go back to work because I'm just a go-getter. So now I'm infecting the rest of you via the internet. It's Protoss, isn't it? Even when I'm watching the replays, I'm looking at the minimap because I'm paranoid for you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to get cannon rushed. Don't do this, dude. Don't take drones off the minerals. You don't need it. You don't need it. You never need it. You don't need it. Getting your speed like 6 seconds early is not going to change the difference in any circumstance ever in the game. And if you have a game where the getting speed 6 seconds early wins it for you on the spot, please do send it in, because it's not happening. You need the minerals, man. You need minerals way more than you need this gas. You should be saturating your mineral line first, and then fresh drones go straight into the gas. You do not want to take off this. We're getting speed. We're taking our third at a good time. Or at least we're getting ready to take our third at a great time. The drone scout's actually quite clever, right? Because obviously lings don't get in. I don't know if this gets lost on some of you guys, but that feels like that's a very early Nexus, right? For this to be done at 2:43, I feel like this is very early. Maybe not very early, but early enough to be like considered what I would say greedy. This is great. He brings Stalker over here to deal with the drone and leaves the wall completely open. Like, if you were flooding slow links off the back of this is a free win. We're not getting back onto gas, which is... There we go. Okay. We're rallying a lot of drones to here, though, which is going to start hurting us, because we could be making drones here. This Overlord here is really cool, but he's not really helping us figure out what the Protoss is doing. We didn't see any gases on the natural, so what could this be, right? And this, to me, it looks like it's going to be +1 charge slot. Based off what I can see, he's very keen to get you out of there, right? He's incredibly keen to get you out of there. You already have 100 gas that you don't look like you're going to use. We have Roach Tech, but we've built a second gas, and we're not really using it. You can beat a lot of like 1-2 base stuff with just like a lot of lings and queens and a handful of roaches, man. You don't need to be jumping on the second gas when your natural... Oh, natural's actually getting there. Actually, my bad. Your natural's a little bit more saturated than I thought it was. I like the lings here, but what I don't like is there's a direct path that goes... If he was to just move this Zealot straight to your base, it walks past the vision of both of these pairs of lings, both of these sets of lings, straight to your base without you realizing it, right? You want to have full coverage. You never want to have a spot they can sneak through, because either by chance or, what'd you call it? I don't know. Either by chance or maybe conscious, constructive planning, I don't know what you'd call it, they could squeeze into the gaps, right? They might come through with like a Sentry Phoenix hallucination, see that you don't have an Overlord here, so they know that this path is clear for a Prism to come through, but this side has an Overlord, so maybe they hallucinate a Prism to come down here. I've actually beaten Terrans by hallucinating a Prism at the same time I attack the front. So you see this, come up to here, bring all your army up, and then turns out it's actually here the whole time. You don't want to leave gaps in your vision that can be used to abuse you. And how right was I, yeah? Because we make a no gas, right? There's no gas coming from the Protoss. This is just going to be like 8 gates or something. And +1. Why are we getting +1? Does anyone know? +1 is because we 2-shot Lings. And 2-shotting Lings takes down the time it takes to kill a Ling by 1/3, which is huge, right? And you'd be surprised how quickly a ball of Zealots can actually deal with a huge ball of Lings just because they're 2-shotting them. So this guy's he's literally got one thing in his mind, right? He's made the game real easy for himself. I'm just going to get to 2 bases real quick. I'm going to take a thing. I'm going to get a Forge, get +1. I'm going to get Charge. And I'm just going to pump a shit ton of Zealots. And it's your job to stop me. You, however, don't really know what he's doing. You built the Spores so late that it probably wouldn't have done anything anyway. Like, you would have already lost the mineral line if he was going for an Oracle. We're getting a Lair very late as well. And again, we have no idea what he's doing. I do love the Spotterlings, but I think this one might be better off to be like here, so we can see any prisms or anything coming up. But oh, here we go. He's actually building a prism now. I was gonna say I didn't feel like he was building a prism. Our injects dropped off. We've missed 2 injects now, so a ton of lava missing. We're still floating a lot of lava, even though our injects aren't popping. We're at 46 workers, so a fraction behind where we could be, but we do have a little bit of an army right now. I love the Overseer. What I don't like is the army getting split up on the map. Because if this gets attacked by a handful of charge lots in the middle of the map, you lose this, and then these Lings also don't beat a handful of Zealots as well, right? You really want to make sure that when you're moving your army around the map, unless this was intentional, that it does stay together. Because your army has a lot more strength when your Roaches and your Ravagers and your Lings are all fighting together. They're all generating... Aha! See what I mean? See what I mean? If that isn't... is that fate? Is that not destiny? That's exactly what we wanted to avoid. We're biling, but like it doesn't... There's no way the Zealots are going to get hit by it. And even if they do get hit by it, it's probably not worth losing the Ravager for. Prism's here. We're floating... a lot of lava, but we haven't got the gas, unfortunately. Now we haven't got the gas to deal with it. The Queens are coming up. The Queens are walking into Zealots to try and get this dealt with. Oh, we were so close. If we didn't lose these fellas. Is it these ones we lost? I think we lost 1 or 2, didn't we? And he's just ain't moving, man. He doesn't need to... There's no micro this guy's doing. Look at this. Look how quickly they turn these Lings into trash, dude. They slaughter him with +1. Absolutely slaughter him. If we didn't lose that Ravager that's there... if we didn't lose that Ravager just there, we probably could have got... We could have got a bile here as well, right? Any opportunity to bile the Prism is 100% worth it. Especially when you were actually sacrificing so much... here to try and kill the Prism. If you'd have biled it when you got there and then biled it now, easy kill. Oh, we missed the bile. You have 1 queen, you're floating a bunch of money, there is no queens coming. Charge lot all in is a really basic, really simple thing for Protoss to do. That's like, what do you do? You just scout. You see that there is no gases, right? A bunch of gateways. He's got a Forge, so he's getting +1. He's got a Twilight Cancel, so he's getting charge. There is nothing here that is anything but charge lots. There's nothing else. Like if he does this and goes into blink, I'd be very surprised. He doesn't have a lot of gas, right? He's floating a ton of gas, but honestly, he could just drop like a Templar Archives. If you do manage to hold this, or maybe you're going Muta, whatever, there's plenty of things he could be doing, but it's so well over. We just didn't scout. We had no follow-up scout. We saw that he took a base. Lings as well are so bad in this situation. Look at the resources lost. We killed 3 Zealots. All these units, they're probably not going to kill one more Zealot. Oh, this Roach might actually get one. Oh, I don't think that's right, man. You just didn't scout. He lost 4 Zealots to kill basically what you mined the entire game. Now, that's me pressing B. I'm not smashing my keyboard. I think this was absolutely beautiful. Divine intervention, kind of, in a way. That I was just talking about it, and this is exactly what happened, right? And this is why we need our army to be together, right? The other thing as well, if he engages this Roach Ravager Ball while the Lings are there, the Lings can actually wrap around, hold the Zealots there, and kill them. If you crush all this, it's now 2 Stalkers versus whatever you have left. And it's probably not a great fight for you, but it's way better than losing all of this. Because we're talking about 500 resources, like 800, 900 resources, and then the Lings also come in and they die too. These are very, very healthy Lings. So, army needs to stay together. I understand your Lings are faster, so you need to be a little bit more careful in moving out in smaller patches, right? Smaller increments. And wait. That reminds me, actually. When he moves out, do we miss it because these Lings aren't in position? Oh, wait. You F2'd. At some point, you F2'd them all away. But I'm just curious, right? Let's just take this gap of vision here, right? Leave my mouse here. You wouldn't have seen it. Because of exactly what I talked about, right? You would have seen the Prism go, so you could have been like, oh, he's Prism. He might be coming to warp in stuff on my side of the map. That could have forced you to go home. But the fact that you missed this until it was on the map, this would have, if your Lings were in the right position to have seen this move out, you probably wouldn't have been where you were. You wouldn't have got caught out in the middle of the map. And you probably could have survived this a lot better. The fact that the Roaches aren't fighting back until it's a little bit too late as well. Zealots do an insane amount of damage. It's like 20 DPS, right? A poor Roach only does 10 damage, right? So Roach's greatest strength is just having enough of them that they can just kind of walk on top of things. If Roaches don't have enough volume to just be on top and encroach upon an enemy, they're bad. Simple as that. So if they physically can't cross that gap to be on top of their opponent with more numbers than the opponent can deal with in that moment, then they're bad. We're at 52 workers, which we could have been at earlier, right? And if we're at it earlier, we might have just been able to go straight into making Roaches or Banes or whatever it is. But the biggest thing here is we just refuse to scout. We need to send a follow-up scout in. A follow-up scout would have come through here, would have seen all this. When did you get the lair? We probably had heaps of time in the lair as well. Bada bing, bada boom. 520. So at 520, when my lair finishes, I'm making an Overseer straight away, and I'm going across the map. It wouldn't have helped here because he moved out basically just after it, but that's why we kind of want our lair a little bit early, so we can have that possibility, right? Oh, sorry, Thrawn, you were watching. Yeah, the Lings got F2'd out of the vision, but the vision wasn't going to catch the Zealots until they were here anyways. And I feel like catching them move out here is way better than catching them moving out here. Yeah, we just didn't scout. We didn't know what we were facing until it's too late. But like, what are some common things, right? I like to think of playing StarCraft as a little bit of like, what's that game? Guess Who? So you open the game, you go, okay, it's a Protoss. What can a Protoss do? They might send a couple of Adepts at like, I think it's 3 minutes or whatever. The first 2 Adepts come across the map. Okay. Are they making Adepts when I get over there? Have they got double gateways? Are they making Adepts? If they're not making Adepts, what are they making? If they make Zealots, what could that mean? Like, could that be leaning into something down the track? Are they planning on not making Akinator? What the hell does that mean? Like, as the game progresses and the game timer as well was a huge thing for me trying to learn, because I knew that at 5:30 a BC could hit. It's called Akinator. I just know it as Guess Who. And so as the game progresses, the next thing's like, well, if I see lots of gases, what could that mean? And I'm just trying to constantly build a picture of what I think they're doing. And so if you're going into your replays, especially when you have a game like this, obviously you called him cringe. Like, I don't know. I didn't feel like that was really necessary. He just did something. You had no idea it was coming because you didn't read a game. You were just playing single player, got ganked, and then you're angry that this has happened. But unfortunately, this is StarCraft. What was I trying to say? So yeah, like he gave you a lot of hints here on what he was doing. The no gases of the natural. I'm pretty sure I said at the start as well, like, just from the no gases of the natural, this looks like a Zealot charge all in, right? It's not even all in, right? You know what I mean? Like, if he feels like this isn't working, he can just go home, take a third base, and like tech into Colossus Immortal or whatever he wants. This isn't really even all in. This is just like a pressure. This is supposed to be like, well, if you die to this, that's on you. If you survive it, we'll go play a late game then, I guess. And so, you had no read. You weren't trying to think about what he was doing until it's too late. Like, yeah. He gave you this is it. This is the symbols here. This is the read. So I'm guessing because you called it cringe, and then you've posted it saying, "What the fuck do I do here?" You just go into the replay and go, "Okay, he just made a bunch of Zealots and charge, and I didn't see it." Right? Like, it's pretty telling when we watch the replays. Like, what did we do wrong? Yeah. So for me, that's a big one there. That's quite obvious to me what has happened. Still watching your stream. What could I have done better here? Oh, he sent me another one as well. I'll check that in a sec. Sorry, guys. But yeah, just vision. We need to look. We need to think about what's happening. If we have a frustrating game, take a second to calm down, breathe to 10, whatever it is. Go into the replay and go, what happened here? How did I make this mistake? And correct it. If you're not looking at your replays and getting honest feedback for yourself, from yourself, right? If you're not watching these things, everything feels unfair because you don't understand how it got to this position. It's pretty much that simple, right? There's always weaknesses and there's always strengths to everything. But if we're just playing games, like pushing the play button over and over again, and we never look at our replays, how are we supposed to improve? How are we supposed to get better and be critical of ourselves? Like, actually learn from these experiences if you're not able to take a step back for a minute, breathe, go into the replay and properly pull it apart and go, what did I do wrong? Not my opponent was cringe because he built like 16 zealots and crushed me because I was on the map when I shouldn't have been, because I didn't have vision and I didn't scout him and I had no idea what was going on. That's not on him. That's on you. It may be harsh, but like legitimately, like I've had plenty of instances in my time to get to where I am where I keep dying to like Terran on 2 bases. I don't know what's going on. Like I'm getting with like 60 drones and I'm maxing out on roaches and I'm just not able to finish the game off. And it's because, well, he actually takes the 3rd base. I don't see him take a 3rd base. Suddenly his production's ramping up. He's making a lot more stuff. And then when he pushes out, I've just got crummy roaches. They just die. And then I can't produce any real good units off the back of it. And then he pushes me and I die. Like, so I made a choice. I looked at my replays and I saw this was a common thing of mine. And so I was like, well, if he's going to take a 3rd, but I need to make sure I got vision of it. If he takes the 3rd base, I'm going to a higher drone count, and then I'm going to try and push him back with something. But I'm not going to be sitting back on 66 drones massing roaches versus bio tank, and then just putting the game on a coin flip of whether or not I engage properly. So yeah, I will. Just a sec. I'll close this one out in just a moment. And I'll have a look at your other game. Who is this? Omniousblink? Pardon me. Ominousblink. Oh, that's gonna be embarrassing when someone watches that back. Ominousblink. Far out. Alright. Got one more here. Bonanza. That's what I remember from Omniousblink. If you're still watching, I remember now. You had that dude who did the like 6 zealot push at like 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes or something, and like just crumbled your natural. I remember now. I was like, I remember watching a replay from this dude, but I can't remember what it was. Alright, so we've got another one here. Win against... So this is ZvP win against aggression. Thrawn has just said in the chat, he said the holy trinity of analyzing a game. Could I win by doing the same thing but better? Could I win if I had vision to react to everything in time? What could stop me if I tried this thing that killed me against someone else? That's exactly right. I think at the end of the day, right, if you looked back at your replay and you were like, hey, if I had full vision, would I have still lost this game? And it's... I would say the answer is like 99% of the time it's no, right? Like, most of the time you're not getting outplayed. You just have no idea what's going on. You are just blindly sitting here going, I guess I'm making drones. I guess I build a hatchery now, I guess. And there's no urgency to it. There's no like, hey, I need to find out what the fuck he is doing so I don't die, right? Put a bit of onus on yourself to prevent the game going to where you don't want it to go, right? High ground wall, sus. High ground wall is usually like a 1 base thing, right? Of course, because like he's on 1 base, right? He's sealing himself in to 1 base. So the next question would be, he said absolutely fucking not. Sorry. My next question would be, is he taking a ninja base? Is he doing this to make it look like he's 1 base and he's taking a ninja base? So I would probably, after I get lings, have a look around the map just in case. He's taking his natural while also building this wall on the top of the ramp. Oh, I just don't like this at all. It's like the dude literally loses his natural to a handful of lings. Sorry, I should be watching your replay. My bad. We've got enough money for ling speed. Yes, there we go. We're a little bit late with that. That's okay. Oh, cheeky boy. If we see here, right, we're behind in work account. Protoss builds workers at a really good rate. Until we're on our third hatchery and our injects are kicking off, we can be basically behind them the entire time. And so, again, the job is on us to try and eke out whatever we can to stay ahead of that. Oh, brilliant. No. I don't agree with that, right? You're about to get ling speed too, right? So I think it's probably worth going into the main and seeing what the hell's there. Again, this is charge lot. But charge lot without a forge, nowhere near as cool, right? 3-shotting lings, sucks. Absolutely sucks. That doesn't suck, but like, it's nowhere near as good. I will literally never play Zealot and not get +1 because it is ridiculous how good it makes them. I think it's worth bringing the lings in and just having a little peeky peek, right? You might be able to come around here and pick off a thing as long as you don't let it interrupt. Thank you for the follow. I'm not just Bon Jovi. Thank you. Sorry, I got a little notification. I think it's a bit hard to read. Yeah, this is perfect. This is perfect. You don't have to commit. You don't have to lose the lings. You're just gonna keep him distracted. And he's like, fucking lings in me base. What's going on? And he's building his things. He's shown you everything that he's doing right now. So this basically looks exactly the same as the last game, but he's doing a much worse job of it. And he's going into a position that's nowhere near as good as it was either. Now at this stage, your worker counts are pretty even. But you're on 3 bases. So what are we doing? We're building drones. We're building a bunch of lings. Building drones, and I hope that's the last of them. There's a much quicker layer, I think. Oh, actually, no, I think the layer time is about the same. It's incredibly... I'd want to say brave, but I don't think it's brave. I think it's just bad and lazy and dumb to not have a wall here. Like, you could have just made like a handful of Banes and rolled them in. I appreciate you going for a spore, but good chance is at this stage it's too late. So unless you're doing it for DTs, which is perfectly fine, you could almost ignore it. And honestly, like, I fucking hate DTs. They're like my little... I love using them, don't get me wrong, but I hate losing to like a handful of DTs in the worst possible position at the worst possible time. So I get it. I absolutely get it. As long as it's a conscious decision and you're not actually trying to build it to stop like a 5-minute oracle timing. That's all my concern is. What are we building? Is that... It better not be a Hydralis den. Is that a hatch? Is that a... Oh no. Double... I don't think we need these, right? We're making roaches, yeah? You can't afford to run 3 hatcheries off the economy you've got anyway. This is another 7 roaches or something, dude. No, we don't need this unless we're playing lings, and you're not playing lings. Again, we want to make sure we've got vision of this, right? Because again, we let slip. We have 15 lava. The big 1-5 basically means we haven't bothered to make anything for like a minute, or we've been injecting half-assed and we're not using any of it. We are about to get hit by an army that's as big as ours, but we have all the potential in the world to have a bigger army. We just didn't bother with it. We just thought that's not really important to us right now. Again, we get caught crossing the map without vision because we didn't have a unit in the fucking wall. We really need to have this covered. I think a lot of your problems, man, would be fixed by this. And I spoke to you about this last time as well, because you lost to that silly little like slow zealot walkover with 6 zealots, because you bring the overlord over and then you pull it to the side where it can't see fucking anything where it is. This is shit. This shows you that he's probably got some probes mining, and he might take a third, but it doesn't tell you when he's moving out. And again, that is the most important thing, because as I just talked about, sorry, it's just a bit frustrating. All I did was make drones and leave a unit here, and when it dies, I hit the fucking army key. He even gives us a little bit of a sneak peek, right? Because like we can see, I'm looking at the minimap, right? And I'm looking at that red dot. And it's gonna move in a sec. And behind it, I don't know if that was too subtle, but when you're looking down here, you'll see a bunch of like, you see how you got one red dot, and then a couple of seconds you'll see like 5 of them go past, and that is a move out, and it's so subtle, like just like that. And if you saw this here and you weren't supply blocked, you're about to be unsupply blocked, so I appreciate that you did have that. But if you had seen this right now, you could have another 6 roaches already on the way. Let's see where your injects are at. Your injects are about to pop, right? So that's more roaches again. And then you have like 25 roaches when this crosses the map, and you have no chance of dying here. You need to stop sending your army out onto the map without knowing where he is. Especially not A moved, man. Let him kill the overlord. That's perfect. That's what I want to say. We don't want to commit to that. We don't want that jam. We just want to buy time here. If we have to, get the drones to attack, but I would wait until we have all of our units at the ready. We are floating so much money. We are floating so much lava. Build that habit. Oh, I'm being attacked. Fucking 1SR. You know what I mean? It's like you're holding this off, but you still have so much money, so much lava. You could just counterpunch him now with like 20 roaches, and there's nothing he could do about it. Use the changelings, please. Send the changeling, drop the changelings, go poop poop, and then send him in and see what he's got. He's just rushing straight from that into Storm, but he can't afford Storm. He's not researching Storm. He's just kind of got the Templar. He's built a bunch of Templar, and Archons are shit. Archons are trash. We've got a lot of lava. Right, again. Now we're floating so much lava. Actually, you know what? We're probably doing a good job spending it now. Considering we have 5 hatcheries, we're building a 6th. We're probably not in a bad spot. But again, we have no idea what he's doing. We're not going to see him move out. We're not going to see him take a 3rd base. These are all really important things. Protoss has a big power spike, especially if you deflect the first attack. Protoss has a big power spike when they hit that 3rd base. And as you can see, right, he's been building probes the entire time. It's not like he stopped building probes because he hit saturation on 2 bases. He's getting geared up for the next stage of it. So your goal, it doesn't always have to be like, oh, I want to play an honorable macro game. It could be like, hey, I deflected your first attack. I'm going to build 1 more round of drones, and then I'm going to come to your side of the map and see if you can survive. There's no shame in just trying your luck. I don't know why we get Hydras. They're no bueno. He's just about to finish Storm. It's not a very big army, but again, we've built drones at like the worst possible time because again, we didn't see him move out. And I think this was a win. You said in the description. This was a win, but these kind of things can be very close to not being a win. We see him moving out, right? We see him on the map. We're going to spend our lava? Nah, we're not going to spend our lava. Why are we not spending our lava, though? Even though you don't have the money right now, you probably have a lot of games like this where you get attacked and you have 18 lava and you have money for 18 roaches, but you just don't make 18 roaches. Well, what if this attack kills everything you have right now? Those 18 roaches are now the follow-up, and they clear up the dregs of what's left, and they can counter push, right? It needs to become part of your routine that, like, as you're being attacked, as you're doing all your macro and whatever, blah, 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 hey, can I spend my lava right now? Did I make it slow? Oh, that was a good bile. We still didn't make fucking units until like 30 seconds into this attack. You could have already had 18 more roaches here ready to go, right? Really think about this, right? Was the micro you're doing here really that good? Not that it, like, micro is bad, but was your micro here really so crucial that we couldn't press 1SR? Think about it. He likes eating the vials. Like, we're getting Hydras, which also suck versus this. He's got enough Stalkers to basically win this fight versus Hydras, let alone the Archon and the Archons and the High Templar with Storm now. And that Templar, we can see he's got a lot of energy, right? So he's probably he's biding his time for a really clutch Storm. Why are we chasing this when we have a base here? Look how much money the Protoss is floating as well. Like, if he spent his money, you'd be dead. So we need to be better at spending our money in between the fights and stuff. As the fights happen, as the fights calm down, whatever the fuck it is, we need to be better at spending it. So when we face opponents who we're in this same situation with, but suddenly they're able to spend their bank at the same time. Maybe this dude drops like not 15, but like maybe drops another 5 gateways, and now he's pumping out 15 zealots every 30 seconds, which he can't really afford on the 2 bases that he has. But you know, you understand the problem, right? How many roaches do you need to make every minute to beat 15 gateways worth of zealots every 30 seconds? I don't fucking know. I think that would have been the perfect storm. The fact that he let the fucking Templar die. The Templar... the Templar got ganked by like a roach and a drone and a bunch of drones. Like, you had Storm, man. When the drones are pushing towards your Templar with 2 storms worth of energy, that's when you need to go for it. Who gets the kill? Oh, one of the roaches got it. That's a shame. I was really hoping the drone did. Our only focus here should be going through our bases, bing, 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 doing our injects, and then spending our lava. Because as you can see here, he is putting every ounce of his like 100 APM into this attack here. When he could just go home and just... Wait, what is he... Where did his money go? Ah, I'll warp into Zealots. There we go. You know what I mean? Like... He puts so much energy into this attack. He's literally not capable of looking home and going bzzz and just warping in a bunch of stuff. There we go. We got to warp in. If he was looking at his thing more often and warping in on time, this is a mad loss for you. 100% this is a loss. But now we're finally... now you're panicked enough that you're actually like, holy shit, I need to start making units, man, or I'm gonna die. I don't know why this took like 4 minutes of constant attacks for you to get to this point. But now that we're finally like actually pumping units properly, we have a good chance of holding this. It's literally just going to take like 8 roaches to punch through this real quick and call it a job done. We don't need these. We needed more roaches. We needed roaches. We need more bodies. The Ravagers aren't helping, and you're kind of gas starved, right? You don't have enough gas to make these all into roaches, but you do have enough money to make these into roaches if you had not made these. 2 Ravagers here are not going to add enough weight to make this worth it. Good bile to having 2 roaches and being able to mass produce more roaches behind it would have been better still. Oh, so what are we going to do here? We need to make lings. Oh, yeah, roaches will do too, but we should be making units. Just F2A move, just F2A move, F2A move, F2A move, F2A move. Spend your lava, F2A move, F2A move, F2A move. Spend the lava, F2A move. That's a good, he brought gas for good luck. Alright, this is your cue to go home, because these roaches are now dead. You got 28 lingers in production. We've got roaches in production. I think all this came down to really was that you finally realized, you finally got the kick in the head hard enough to be like, fuck, I'm going to lose this if I don't actually start making shit. And all you did was start making stuff. All your injects have stopped. All of your upgrades have stopped. Your macros stopped. You've not moved any workers around. All you've done is put slightly more attention into just making units. That's it. Less time holding your units in your hotkey and watching them, and just a bit more time making stuff. You would be surprised how easy it is to win games when you just make stuff. I don't know what's your obsession with just having like 2 Ravagers. It's always 2 Ravagers. It's like 2 Ravagers, no more nor less. It's like was it the rule of the Sith or something? No more than 2. And some of the bars are not bad, but like you'd just be better off having 3 more roaches. Because that's the thing, right? Right now you're kind of gas starved. You're making a shit ton of money. You're not making a lot of gas. Each Ravager is 3 more roaches you could have had. Because you have the money, you have the lava, you just don't have the gas. So you're actually gas starving yourself by making this unit that really isn't adding as much DPS as just having 3 extra roaches would have. When you've exhausted all of your options and you want to make Ravagers, go for it, absolutely. But Ravagers don't even add a lot to this scenario because he's playing Stalkers, which sucks. Really, unless he's got fucking tons of them and he can blink micro well. Or, and the Zealots don't really beat a balled up, decent chunk of roaches. Like once roaches, see what I mean? Like once roaches get to a good size, it's very hard for the Protoss to just engage this. Because it just walks on top of them and they just eat whatever they get into. I think Omniousblink could probably use a bit of BM rehab. You don't need to shit talk people when you beat them. Especially since this dude was so fucking close to beating you. Both of you were so close to killing each other, and neither of you just could pull the trigger. And see, look at this, right? Oh no, we got three Ravagers, but we lose a Ravager here, so we're back to 2 again. Look at that! It's just a ball of roaches, and it just slaughtered him. Absolutely slaughtered him. He had no chance. You're a bad man. Roach good. Oh, sorry. Ominous, why don't you join the chat? At least I didn't realize you were chatting in the Discord. The spores are for DTs and potential backdoor drops as I'm defending the front of my base, so more from PTSD. Hey Cebu, thanks for the follow. I hope I'm just chatting to Ominous. Hey mate, how you going, Ominous? I hope that this has been enlightening for you. You just need to spend your lava, dude. You seem to be droning well enough and getting into a good drone count. You're probably droning a little bit too heavily and doing it a little bit dangerously. Two things. Let me get my little screen up. Where's my little screen? I had a little notes thing here somewhere. Checklist. Here we go. Notes. This is for you and only for you. No one else. Watch. One. Overlord at their ramp natural to spot move outs. Both games, right? Both games, they moved out with you had no idea, right? The other problem is with them moving out with you having no idea is your army was on the map without knowing where they were. So when you're on the map and they're on the map and your army sucks, theirs is pretty easy to use and it's decent and it's better than yours because you for some reason you made 2 Ravagers and like 3 Roaches and you keep moving out with it. I don't understand why. You risk losing not only the only army you have, but you also risk losing the chance to defend yourself if he happens to be pushing you at the same time. And both of those games you got caught in the middle. Second game not really in the middle, but you got caught on map, move commanding your army through him because of the first problem, right? 3. Spend your lava. And that's pretty much 100% it. I would honestly spend some time. If you have time now, I'd love to do some backseats. So you just like play on Discord or something and I just scream at you to spend your lava so you can see the difference it makes. Because, what are you? You're plat, yeah? It's high plat, I believe. The difference it makes just spending your lava in between moments of the game, your skill will blossom and you'll be in diamond in no time just by doing that. So, for you, oh no, we've lost. Oh, it's too big. Sorry, this is all new to me. How do I put this on top? Just a sec. Not Twitch. Checklist. Bada bing. Almost got it. Here we go. Doesn't look great, but it's there. Overlord at the ramp, natural to spot move outs, is an absolute no-brainer. It is super fucking easy to do. If they come out and kill it, replace it with some Zerglings or something that you're less afraid to lose. I like an Overlord because it has so much HP that they can't just kind of zip and kill it. Tanks can't also blast it from far away, forcing you to remake Lings and put them in front. So I feel like an Overlord, as painful as it is to lose an Overlord, it takes more time to kill, therefore it's not a quick like zip and it's gone. You should get a good idea of what's moving out. It has a huge vision radius and it's absolutely useless if it's sitting on the side of the base where it can't see them moving out. Army was on the map without knowing where they were. That's pretty much a no-brainer. Like map control, if you're aggressive and you're in his face, he can't really be on the map at the same time. I mean, some people will because they realize that that's the only way that they're gonna win the game. But most of the time, once you start attacking someone, they're just gonna get purely defensive positioning with it. They're gonna kind of curl up and just try and weather the storm and then push out if they feel like they've survived. And then spending a lava is obviously a no-brainer. Stop making the 2 Ravagers when you're pushing to make units, right? You got the Ling speed. Against Zealots by themselves, not great, but Zealot Ling is good enough. If the Zealots engage the Roaches first and Lings come up behind and start getting surrounds, then you're getting insane damage. Each ling actually does the same amount of damage per second that a roach does, but you get 2 of them for the cost of half a roach if you count gas as the same value as minerals, right? So you actually get 40 DPS for a ling, or 10 DPS for a roach. And so if your opponent is attacking something that's a bit tankier, like a roach or a queen or whatever, and then the lings come in, the lings get way more damage done, especially if it's like a +1 zealots. So that's it for you. Honestly, if you send me another one in a week or 2 and you have those 3 things fixed, I guarantee you'll be diamond. Easy. Your drone count was like very rarely in danger during any of those games as well if you'd have just spent your money, because you have more army, you can defend yourself, blah 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 blah. It all kind of rolls into itself a little bit. But these things here, no, not the game, sorry, shouldn't remove that, but these things here are crucial to you getting into diamond. Absolutely. I think even pick, like, get to 66 drones and just stop. You can take a 4th base, you don't have to drone it, but just get to 66 and then spend your money. Get better at getting to 66 quickly and then spending your money. Obviously, keep an eye out in case they're 1 base, 2 base, whatever. We need some basic scouting, right? You can't just drone to 66 every single game. It doesn't work. But aim for 66 and then start spending your money. Then you can go for what you have the layer by then. Go for a follow-up scout with an overseer and go, okay, what is he building? Can roaches beat this? Good chance is, unless it's flying, roaches will beat it if you just build enough of them quickly. And that's it. So fingers crossed. Not thumbs up, fingers crossed. Both is good. Hopefully that helps. The 2 Ravagers, I don't know. Is it just... You did it a lot though. Is it really not intentional? Or do you just think like you were mashing the Ravager key and you barely had any gas, so just you always got 2 out of it? I need to know. Yeah, so yeah, just mashing and just always happened to have like 150 gas and that was it. Alright, makes sense. Anyway, that's been really fun. That's some interesting games. I'm going to stop the recording of that one. I'm going to post it up on YouTube anyway. But please do touch base with me maybe in a week, and hopefully you can fix those things. If you are struggling with it, go back and watch your replays and go, did I do these 3 things? If I didn't do these 3 things, why did I not do these things? Really try to pull apart your habits. Like, I get that we don't want to lose the first overlord to them moving out. I understand this shit. I get it completely. I understand it. But at the same time, you can't let your opponent just walk across the map with a whole bunch of crap and have no idea that it's coming. It's so bad for you. It's really bad for you. And it's a really quick way to lose games. This game is incredibly crushing. It's incredibly easy to get steamrolled. And momentum is so big in this game that you really can't afford for your opponent to be on your side of the map in your natural without you realizing it. Also, your creep spread I don't think was bad either. I think the creep spread was okay when you had time to focus on it. But maybe just some like games against AI and just really pushing that habit on yourself of like spending the lava as you go. And just really trying to build that into a habit, and then when you get more comfortable with it and becomes more of a muscle memory thing, you go onto the ladder and you'll be shocked, man. Absolutely shocked. So best of luck with it. I'm sure I'll see you around another time. But I'm just going to cut the recording here so I can upload this. But I really appreciate that, man. Thanks for stopping by.